Making characters in TTRPGs can be a lot of fun. Getting to try out cool new character concepts, or a new class or build can be really exciting. But you might not always have a fun idea for a character, or the character you might have made just might not be gelling with you or feel kind of bland and boring. Or sometimes you just get writer's block. This is something I've struggled with from time to time, and I've made several dud characters that I have not really found any joy in playing. The obvious advice: if you're having this type of trouble, you should definitely talk to your GM, especially if you're in an ongoing game. Most GMs will want to work with you to try and make the game more engaging for you. That being said, I wanted to share some techniques and exercises I found helpful for overcoming my writer's block and making some fun and interesting characters, and I shall do so in a numbered list. I'm mainly going to be looking at these techniques through the lens of 5e, but most of this advice is pretty universal. Number 1, list out the steps you usually use when making a character in order, then reverse that order and see where it leads you. For example, if you usually make your character by first picking their class, then race, stats, background, and finally skills, you would start by picking the skills that you want to have. Then a background that supports and grants you some of those skills. Pick stats that make sense with that background. A race that seems a good match for the character you have so far. Only then would you pick your class. With this, you'll have a character that focuses on different things than you usually do. Number 2, use a random character generator and see what you get. In Xanathar's Guide to Everything, starting on page 61, there is a section, "This is Your Life," that helps you generate a randomized character with a unique backstory. I really like this particular generator a lot. You end up with a character with wild choices that you would probably not make or even think of. Though there are online tools that will roll up a random character for you, I recommend rolling out the character yourself and thinking about how all of the random elements would affect your character as you do it. You'll have to fill in a lot of gaps and make a lot of connections yourself, but that's all part of the fun. Your character will probably turn out pretty messy, and not at all what you were expecting. A few years ago, when Xanathar's Guide first came out, some friends and I made 2 videos using the charts in this book, and we ended up with a divorced, cowardly, human fighter pirate who was petrified for several years, and a corrupt, halfling barbarian politician whose rage is brought on by divine light. Number 3, pick a background or backstory that runs counter to your class, and find a way to justify and explore it. A former criminal turned paladin, a stuffy old sage who's secretly a rogue, a monk turned entertainer, or a warlock folk hero. You can find a lot of fun in the contradictions of the character, and it can lead you down some interesting paths. Side note, while writing this, I fell in love with the idea of the warlock folk hero, and will probably run that the next time I play 5e. That one just really resonated with me. Number 4, finally, come up with the most boring character concept you can. Really get down into the details of what makes this character really boring to you. Then, make a character that is the exact opposite of them in every way you listed. Now for this exercise, you get to define what opposite really means here. With all of these methods, especially number 4, don't be afraid to change some of the details to make the character make more sense to you or something you're more interested in playing. After all, this is about making a character you actually want to play, so don't feel that you need to be beholden to any of the choices or random rolls that you made during this exercise. They're just exercises after all. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any other techniques or exercises that you find helpful in your role-playing games, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about them. Also, feel free to leave a comment if there's a question you have about RPGs, or you have a topic you'd like to see me cover in the future. Until next time.